Call of Duty is overhyped like crazy these days. That's not to say the franchise has never been worthy of praise, but everybody knows that COD has seriously fallen off, and the rabid fan base is always willing to defend it no matter how bad things get. There have been COD games with massive glaring problems, and yet the community, they still call them some of the best in the series. Is the Call of Duty logo on the box really all it takes for such massive problems to be ignored? And sure, overrated doesn't necessarily mean bad, but I think the COD community has a tendency to be a little too forgiving of things. I mean, take Black Ops 3 for example. Black Ops 3. If you know me, you might be saying, Jimmy, I thought you really liked this game. I do, but at the end of the day, this game gets a little too much love despite the massive flaws. I think that's because the core gameplay is so freaking good. It makes people pretty willing to ignore certain aspects of it. The campaign, hot garbage. The zombies maps, pretty hit or miss, right? And even though the multiplayer was amazing, it had some really massive issues that had a lasting effect on the franchise, and not in a good way. Does anybody remember supply drops? Does anybody remember specialist abilities and super weapons? Does anybody remember the fact that the launch map selection was pretty small and there weren't any standouts? Does anybody remember the technical issues like the crashes on certain maps and the loading screens? It took absolutely forever in between matches. Again, I love Black Ops 3. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I do. I think it's got some of the best gameplay in the entire franchise. But the COD community at large definitely likes to forget about certain aspects of this game. And I think it's a worthy spot on today's list. And I know I'm going to be calling out a lot of the COD community moving forward on the channel. That's not an attack. We're just going to do things different. Next up is Black Ops 7. This one, I don't get it. I don't understand. You guys know I really don't like the game. You guys know I think this game is completely pointless. But every single time I say anything negative about the game, I get a lot of people in my comment section. Yeah, I read every single comment on every single video. That is true to this day, 17 years later. They say it's actually an amazing game. I'm actually just a hater and an old head and an unk, and it doesn't deserve the hate. But here's the thing. I can see why people say it doesn't deserve all the hate. But what is it that it deserves love? I mean, do you understand what I'm saying here? I'm willing to concede the point that Black Ops 7 gets a lot of hate from people who never gave it a fair shot. Okay. But I also don't think the people who say they like it are doing a good job of explaining why they like it. Is it the worst COD game of all time? Absolutely not. Heck, I wouldn't even call it the worst COD game of the Warzone era. Not even close. But what does this game have that you can't get in a dozen other places? Why are Black Ops 7 players so insistent that it's an amazing game, but then they don't actually explain what they think or why they think that? I don't understand that one. It boggles me. You guys already know how expensive Call of Duty gets now between full games, black sale, COD points, bundles, skins. It adds up fast. So I've been using Eneba because you can get the same games, gift cards, currencies, all way cheaper than buying everything straight through the console stores. They've got deals on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, Nintendo, pretty much everything. In the checkout process, it's super easy. I was literally comparing COD point prices earlier, and the difference is actually kind of crazy. And here's the real trick. Eneba also powers an app called SnackZ, where you can play mobile games, complete challenges, earn coins, and cash those rewards straight to your Eneba wallet. You can do it PayPal, Amazon, all that stuff. So technically, you can grind mobile games and use the rewards towards your Call of Duty purchases, which is honestly kind of broken. So far, they've already paid out over 1.2 million to players, and the app is actually pretty wild. I caught myself sitting there way longer than I planned to, so if you guys want to try it out, use my links below and download SnackZ with promo code Chaos Gaming for up to $10 sign-up bonus to get started. Then, use those rewards to save even more money on Eneba. It's like the full circle. Links are at the top of the description and the pinned comment below. Call of Duty Ghosts. Look, I know Ghost gets a lot of hate. I do. And I was there when it came out. I remember the hate very clearly. But over the last decade, the last 10 years, a lot of people have tried to turn the narrative around. They've spun it and say, Ghost was actually a misunderstood masterpiece, that we were judging it too harshly. And I do think certain aspects of Ghost were good. DLC season, some of the guns, general movement mechanics. The game as a whole, though, it wasn't good. It doesn't matter how much time passes or how many people insist that we were just being mean to it. Most of the maps were horrible. I've gone over these in depth. The game mode selection was weak. The time to kill was way too quick. Extinction was a pretty lame replacement for zombies and Spec Ops, and I know the comments say, oh my god, Extinction was great. You don't understand. Now, the campaign had some fun moments. The ending made the whole thing just piss you off and get frustrated by the time you rolled the credits. Everything felt pointless. Kill streaks? Was there like 40 of them? Most of them they weren't viable. Come on. We're going to quit swapping the narrative around on this one. It stops today. Black Ops Cold War. Now, a lot of people say this is the best Call of Duty game of the post-Warzone era. I agree in some regards. I still don't think it's a very good game. It's very clearly that this game's praise is mainly due to comparison, if that makes any sense. Like, if this game was to come out during the Golden Age, nobody would ever say it was particularly good. But since it came out right after Modern Warfare 2019 and right before Vanguard in Modern Warfare 2022, most people see it as being a really awesome standout COD game. But how many of you remember how this game launched? I do. It barely worked. There was no content. And then as time went on, the bugs got fixed and a lot of new content was added, but several massive issues with the game were never fixed. They remain in the game to this day. The matchmaking, it's terrible. The time to kill feels inconsistent at times. The score streak system, hot mess. Certain selling points of the game like combined arms and fire team, they were straight up doo-doo. They were. Black Ops Cold War definitely had some of the best 6v6 offerings of the 2020s for Call of Duty, but that is a really low bar to clear, and at the end of the day, I just don't think this game is very good. Again, if the game were to come out during the Xbox 360 era, be honest with me, nobody would remember it. Since it came out during the COD Dark Ages, people seem to think it's a lot better than it actually was. And speaking of the COD Dark Ages, Vanguard. Now, it's this really weird case. It was widely hated when it came out. Then as time went on, it developed a little bit of a cult following of people who insisted it was way better than the haters gave it credit for. It was actually one of the best COD games of the last decade. Here's the thing. No. The game was not good. The gun balance was a mess because of the 10 attachment gunsmith. The zombies are straight up terrible. The campaign was basic and forgettable, and there was a ton of bugs. This was one of the buggiest launches in COD history. Still plenty of bugs that were never fixed. I just got done with the Call of Duty Vanguard campaign over on my Let's Play channel, and it was okay. It was cinematic. It was weird, but it wasn't anything. It was forgettable. I mean, it was. Then you have the wacky cosmetics, the emotes. I shouldn't have to explain why cosmetics and emotes are so out of place in a freaking World War II game. I mean, if you were to reskin this game out of the World War II setting and fix every bug, then maybe, you would have a B-tier Call of Duty game. But to all you people who like to write in my comment sections that I'm too mean on Vanguard, and I pick on Vanguard all the time, and the game is actually good, and we all just hate it for the clicks. Yeah, the answer is no. That's not true. The game isn't good. It isn't. And since we're in the 1940s, and yes, I rolled over off the wrong side of the bed this morning. I know. I'm not mad. I'm just, I don't know. Different type of passion in my head at the moment. COD World War II. Another COD game that I feel like gets a ton of mileage out of just being compared to worse COD games. COD World War II got off to a horrible start because of the fact that it barely worked on the Xbox. And then it took freaking forever for it to be fixed. And then, even after it got fixed, it was a bad experience all the way around. And yes, Sledgehammer released that giant multiplayer overhaul, and sure, the game got significantly better after that. Thank you, Sledgehammer, for fixing the game after the fact. I'm not really picking on you, Sledgehammer, but you guys know how I feel about games, shipping them and then fixing them. Still a B-tier Call of Duty game at best. Compared to the Golden Age COD games, COD World War II is just way too simple. There's way too many guns that are blatantly just reskins of other existing ones. There are some really annoying design and balancing oversights here. Requisitions anyone. And overall, I think this game only gets its positive reputation because it's being played by people who never played World at War or people who never spent much time on the Golden Age COD games. I'll admit, COD World War II in its current state, probably one of the better COD games of the last decade, but that doesn't hold a candle to the stuff that came out more than a decade ago, and that's the huge problem. It's not only about the game we're comparing, what are we comparing it to? Black Ops 4. It's supposed to be the evolution of the Black Ops 3 legacy, right? And I guess certain elements of it were interesting, even really good. Blackout was really good. Other aspects of it, they weren't. Longer time to kill made for some really weird balancing oversights in the guns. The DLC model was extremely predatory, loaded with intentionally overpowered guns. A lot of the original multiplayer maps were crap, and then there was the whole Black Ops Pass fiasco. I mean, well, we don't stop there. Specialist equipment, it screwed up the flow of a lot of matches. There was no campaign. Let me repeat, there was no campaign. Lots of technical issues. I mean, I could go on, honestly, just pull them out of my brain, pluck them one after another. Black Ops 4 had super smooth gameplay. There were some really good things about it. But a lot of people say this is a top 5 COD game, and I do not see that at all. There's so many things wrong with it, and out of all the Black Ops games, I actually think this one aged the worst. Granted, I don't think Black Ops 6 or 7 are going to age particularly well, but I don't see the love that people get for Black Ops 4. There was a lot wrong with it. Modern Warfare 3 2023. I'm definitely going to get hate for this because I know a lot of you love this game. And there has been a huge revival on the server since the release of Black Ops 6. I'll admit, this is by far the best of the new Modern Warfare trilogy. Not even close. Sledgehammer definitely knows how to please the crowd with their games, but they also still have to take orders from Activision, and apparently Infinity Ward still has a lot of input on the game. I think that's what keeps me from falling in love with the game. Modern Warfare 3, good gameplay, lots of content, but still major issues with it that I think the community likes to ignore, turn the other cheek because it's better than the first 2 Modern Warfare reboot games. Okay. The connection, it's iffy, right? The skill-based matchmaking, it's strong. The interface, it's horrible. The gun balance, it's inconsistent. The way you unlock weapons, I think it's flat out stupid. You guys get the point here. Again, this is by far the best game in the new Modern Warfare trilogy. It's absolutely loaded with content. It's loaded with nostalgia, but that doesn't make it a top-tier COD game. If the SBMM was reduced, the gun balance was ironed out, maybe we could talk about it being top tier. But right now, I think it's kind of overrated. Again, overrated doesn't mean bad. It doesn't. I told you that at the beginning of the video. But to all of you that say, Jimmy, it's a top 5 COD, I think you're delusional. I love you. I love each and every one of you. But I think you're delusional. Modern Warfare 2019. I'm going to ask an honest question here. I need an honest answer. Why the heck are so many people out there just think this game was some kind of franchise-saving masterpiece? There's so many players who truly think this game was a top-tier COD game. Maybe they rage bait. Maybe they do it for clicks. I don't know. And they think it saved the series, which is kind of a weird opinion to have because literally every problem that people have with modern Call of Duty started with this game. Campy map design, SBMM again, the overhauled footstep audio, the new spawn system, the prestige system overhaul, the list goes on and on. Yes, Modern Warfare 2019 looks amazing, and yes, the attention to detail is arguably the best in the entire franchise. But the game itself, it's trash. It is. It did so much damage to the franchise's reputation. People have been begging Call of Duty to roll back these changes for years now. Basically, every time people get excited for a new COD feature, it's just a rolling back of something that Modern Warfare 2019 changed in order to appeal to little Timmy. We haven't talked about little Timmy in a minute. Modern Warfare, it's one of the most overrated games of all time. I hold to that. If it was called anything other than Modern Warfare, it wouldn't have sold nearly as many copies and it wouldn't have gotten any goodwill from people. If this game was called something else, it would have been crapped on and forgotten by the entire gaming community. Did I mention that in the beta, they tried to convince us that no minimap was a good thing? Let's close this out. Modern Warfare 2 2009, probably going to be my hottest take ever, but I really don't think it deserves all the praise it gets. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not. Genuinely fantastic elements of it. There are maps in this game that are all-time classics. The gunplay, super smooth, responsive. The sound design was freaking awesome. The kill streaks, super satisfying. It was fun to tear up entire lobbies, but here's the thing. The game was broken, ship-broken, right down to its core, right down to its nuts. Aside from all the technical and security issues, there were so many balancing oversights, and the whole thing was just a mess. Yes, it was a fun mess. But when people say this is the best COD game of all time, or this is perfectly designed as a masterpiece, I have to ask you, were you actually there back then? Or did you just hear stories? I was there. I can tell you, this game is absolutely not perfect, not even close. It was fun for sure. It was loud, explosive, dumb fun. But it wasn't a good game. Don't lie to yourself. It was broken. It was messy. And that is why we liked it. And there you have it, my friends. Let me know what you think. I'll see you soon.